So this is an angle.
Whoa!
What if I really taught like that?
Oh my gosh!
Okay, so what's going to happen, you guys are dealing with radians and degrees, yes? So we're going to deal with angles on the Cartesian plane. So on a graph, and you're going to be dealing with what is called a unit circle. I don't think we've dealt with any of this in Algebra 2. This is an introduction for sure for calculus. So if you take pre-calculus in college, you'll definitely go through this again. In fact, you'll have to memorize the unit circle that we're learning in next section. If you take calculus, they're going to assume you already know it. Does that make sense? So this is the initial side right here. So your first side, this is your starting point. This is your initial side, and this is your terminal side. So this is your starting. What would this be?
Ending.
Ending.
There we go.
Here it is. And then the movement from your starting to your terminal, this is the measure, basically your degrees. And it goes counterclockwise. Counterclockwise to be positive. So if I go clockwise, I'm assuming the angle is going negative. So basically when you're dealing with the graph, your initial side will always be at 0. Right? And then your terminal side will be wherever it is on the circle. So it could be here, making this measure how many degrees?
90.
Right? And this
Wait,
is
so if it's going counterclockwise, it's positive, and clockwise is...
So if I had the
Okay.
initial here, and it went this way, it would be negative 90 degrees. But I can also go here, and go this way, and it'd be positive 270 degrees.
Oh,
Wait, what?
I get
Can you
it.
repeat that? What you just said?
If it just matters in the direction I'm going, right? I always start here, right? So if I go here, I'm going 90 degrees. If I go below, I'm going negative 90 degrees. But if I go here and go all the way to get to here, the same as the negative 90, it's also positive 270 degrees. All right, so here we're dealing with degrees, which degrees make sense, yes? Because a full circle is how many degrees?
360.
360 degrees, which makes it easier to deal with angles. And it's important when we're dealing with trig functions, because when we do triangles and when we're doing sine, cosine, tangent, all that sort of stuff, degrees come in handy, yes?
Yeah.
And when you go on your calculator, we always make sure that your calculator is in degree function. But what happens is the degrees in trig is useful, but it has no linear measure. So there's no comparison between the two, so that's where radian measure comes in.
What is a radian?
Okay, it's a created measurement that connects circular measurements, so degrees, into a linear measurement, right? And so, yeah. So so they call it radians. Okay. So basically, what that means is this full right here is at 0. When I make a complete circle, how many degrees is that? 360 degrees, right?
Or pi radians.
Okay.
Or, no.
So this is then how many degrees?
2 pi r.
90 degrees.
Yeah.
This is,
180.
and this is.
270.
So in radian measure, a full circle is 2 pi, right?
Yeah.
Making half the measure what?
It's
1 pi.
Pi.
Okay.
So the important thing is we need radians. So it says here, so this is where radians come in. And a radian, I can find the measurement by taking the arc and putting it over the radius. Okay? So the conversion rule is, because of course there's no point in having a link if I can't convert it. If I want to turn degrees into radians, I have to multiply by the pi radians over 180 degrees. Okay, it turns it into radians. Now, if I want to convert radians into degrees, how would that work?
What's pi
The
radian?
opposite of that.
Which would be
180 over pi radians.
Degree.
80 degrees over pi radians. It's just like if I wanted to convert 12 feet, 13 feet into inches, right? I would have to multiply it by the conversion, but what has to be on the bottom?
Feet.
Feet.
Gotta
Because then these
cancel it
cancel
out.
out and inches get, does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess
So
so.
if I start out with degrees, then degrees should be on the bottom. If I start out with radians, then the radians should be on the bottom. That's an easier way for you to remember.
It's just inverse. Okay, that makes sense.